Hiya, it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts and welcome to the second week of our background technique mini-series, and this week we're going to be focusing on watercolours. As in last time's video with our background techniques series, I have also got two videos for you, so do make sure you go on across to the blog post. Link is in the paragraph below this video and it will show you both videos. So I'm just using some watercolors here and some watercolor card that I have it comes pre-made as a 5x7 size sheet. I've made up a colour by mixing a couple of different colours in my palette here to make this lovely sort of corally pinky colour, and I just thought it was so pretty. And then I've mixed another couple of colours to create this kind of sort of almost sludgy gold, but it is actually more gold in life than it looks on this camera. And then I'm just sweeping my brush, quite a wet brush, with the coral from the top to the bottom and the gold from the bottom to the top, and meeting about 2/3, 1/3, and then blending using some water to blend that out. Now you can see now that the gold is a little bit more goldy than it looked like when you put it on the actual card, and as you can see it's dried off and it looks gorgeous. Then I found this beautiful piece of cardstock because I thought it would be fun as before to show you the making of the card, because the backgrounds, as you see, are super simple to make. So I'm making a card here that's a 5x7 card, so I'm just trimming my background piece down to make it 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I took a little bit off the side that I wasn't so keen on, and then my card base that I created from that lovely butterfly piece of card I've cut to 10 inches by 7 inches, and then I'm scoring at 5 inches and I'm folding it with the butterflies on the inside. Now you'll see the reason is I love to have my inside of my cards really nicely done. I think it's so disappointing when you open a card and it looks so fabulous on the outside and you open it and it's just like white and you're like, oh. So I do like to make something on the inside if I can. But I just thought that was so pretty and the colour went so well with our background piece. So the next thing that I did was I used some Cosmic Shimmer glue. I put that all across the front of my created card base, and then I took a piece of Stampin' Up! Flirty Flamingo cardstock and I adhered that to the front of my card. And I decided to do it this way because although you would cut it to 5x7 and it would almost certainly be the right size, you never can be 100% sure when you've cut something that you've done it absolutely perfectly. And when it's something like this and you're going to put it exactly edge to edge, it's so much easier to add it and then cut it as I did here with the pair of scissors afterwards, and it just then is absolutely perfect. I then took some Blushing Bride cardstock from Stampin' Up! Also, and this Sue Wilson Auckland set, and just from the Sue Wilson die set here I just took that gorgeous shaped outline piece because I just thought it would be interesting to add a piece of card to the inside so you had somewhere to write, but I wanted it to be something interesting shape wise, and I just really liked this. I loved the way the corners just came away, and I just thought, well, it's a little bit different to just putting a square, and I thought that colour was nice. I was umming and ahhing between the two when I was choosing the colour to go on the front, so I thought, why not use this one on the inside? And then I've got a bit of both that I liked, and I just think that looks so pretty on the inside there, and the shape looks really nice. You could of course do another one in the darker cardstock and just offset it underneath as well if you wanted to. So now back to the front of our card, and using that Flirty Flamingo again, we're using this Altenew Love. It's the Mega Greetings set and it's the Love die, and I'm just popping that through to cut that out, and I'm going to do that 3 times to create 3 little die cuts, which then, using my Cosmic Shimmer glue very sparingly because I don't want it to seep out anywhere, I'm just going to stick all 3 together, and this creates almost like a kind of chipboard effect look with these dies. It makes them look really cool look to them with that kind of thickness going on. I then also cut another one of that love die in a gold Miri card. I will show you how I'm going to use that in a minute, but as you can see, it's really looks effective in that Miri, and actually you could use it and it would look really good just as it is. So what I'm going to do is, again, using my Cosmic Shimmer, I'm just adding the Cosmic Shimmer to the thicker parts of the die on the back there, and then just using that little puddle, as I call it, of Cosmic Shimmer on my mat there, I'm just dunking, that's a very technical term, the die into that, so that the thinner elements, the little twirly bits that are more difficult to cover with the Cosmic Shimmer, also get a bit of adhesive on them. I'm then positioning that die into the center of my background piece that we created using our watercolors, and I'm just fiddling around very carefully before I stick it down to make sure that I'm happy with the position. Once our die cut is dry, we're going to take the stamp set that complements that die, and we're going to stamp the "and hugs" underneath, and we're going to stamp the "sending" on the top. So we're going to say "sending love and hugs." I'm going to then use my stamp platform for this, because I want to be sure that the stamp is perfect, because we're going to be embossing it, and it's a watercolor card which is slightly textured, so it gives us an advantage if it's not perfect that I can restamp it, which I did in fact need to do. It looked okay, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I wanted just to be sure that there was enough of that ink on there, so that when I put my gold, this is a Cosmic Shimmer metallic gold embossing powder on top, I wanted to be sure there was enough of that lovely sticky ink to grip that powder. Now, what I did forget to do, which was really silly of me, was I forgot to dust my background piece beforehand, so there were a few little bits of stray embossing powder which I did need to just get rid of with very carefully with a paintbrush. So I would definitely advise that you use your duster beforehand, just to get rid of any sticky bits from fingerprints, etc. And then just using my heat tool, going underneath and then on top, alternating like that. That stops it from bending too much. It eventually melted that little embossing powder to make that gorgeous gold sentiment. I then decided to use that red tape to stick down when I've used anything that can slightly distort a piece of paper. So obviously, being a watercolor piece, it was potentially slightly distorted anyway, and then we heated it as well. Using something strong like a tape, not a wet glue, it is an instant stick and it holds it in place and it holds it flat, so I tend to find that works better. Now you'll see I have a piece of vellum in the butterflies that are the same as the piece of card that we used for our card base. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting out round those little butterflies, just using a pair of scissors and cutting out 3 little butterflies. I did 1 large one and 2 smaller ones. There were only 2 sizes on there. So once I've cut those out, I want to next stick down my as it were chipboard element that I created with my dies with this love. So I'm just very carefully again adding the Cosmic Shimmer adhesive to the back of my die cut here. Again, I could have done what I did for the gold and did my dunking technique, but I was fairly happy that I would get that okay. So now we're going to stick it down, but we're going to offset it so we can still see the gold peeking through. So you want to do this quite carefully, because you don't want to put any of the Cosmic Shimmer on the gold where you don't want it, because it will kind of make the gold go a bit horrid looking if you're not careful. If you're quick and you get a little bit, you can just take it off with a little bit of tissue or a wet wipe, but you do need to be quick, because otherwise it kind of makes it a bit dull, so you don't want that when you've got that beautiful shimmer showing through. Then finally I'm just going to add my butterflies. So just to add a nice bit of shape to them, I just used my bone folder and shaped their wings. And then I'm using my pin flare glue gel, and as you can see I'm putting a small amount in the middle because I don't want any height in the middle, and then I'm adding a couple of big blobs on each wing. Now when it dries you will not see it at all, and that's why I love using the pin flare. This is see-through because it's vellum, and if I used anything like foam tape then it would show through, and that would be a shame. So for the two smaller ones I'm adding my glue gel as before on the larger one, but I'm doing both butterflies at the same time because I need to put them down almost simultaneously to be sure that I position them correctly. They almost kind of interlink or overlap, so I want to be sure that they went down correctly. So the easiest way was to put the glue on both of them and then plonk them down, plonk, another technical term, at the same time. And then as you can see it just adds a really nice finishing touch to the card, and the colour is perfect and it's a great match for the inside of the card. That glue gel will go off in about 15 minutes, but I would definitely leave it overnight before kind of putting it in an envelope. And there it is done, and I think it looks so pretty with the complementary or matching, it's not even complementary, the matching butterflies on the inside and the outside are really cool background as well. So, and it was so simple to do as you saw, and look how effective it is. You'll also notice that I've got an envelope. This is actually an Anna Griffin envelope that I've had a long time, and they come pre-lined, and I found one that just looks so nice with the colours that go so well. It's obviously a different pattern, but it's such a kind of universal kind of lacy pattern that I didn't think it mattered, and it went so well colour wise with it, and it just added another little element of luxury to the card. And so that is it. That is the first video of this watercolour backgrounds for this week. We've got a second video this week of the another idea to use your watercolors to create a background. As I said in the last time's background technique video, these are just a drop in the ocean of ideas that you can do with these. I just trying to give you some really quick and simple ideas that you can do for backgrounds. So I hope you've enjoyed making this card with me. I hope you'll come across and see the second video as well. As before, if you just click the link in the paragraph below the video, if you're on YouTube, it'll take you to the blog post, and that will have both videos that are up this week for you. So that's probably the easiest way to find it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I look forward to hearing what you think, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.
Looking up at a pale pink sky, it's telling me I'm gonna be alright. I'm gonna be alright. Say hello to my Mr. Moon. Like nature I will be renewed. I will be renewed.